Welcome to the Indigenous Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today I have a few people from the Amazing West team and their various offices throughout New Mexico with me. I have Dave Videra from the Rio Rancho West office, Wendy Stein from Santa Fe's West office, and then Don Falca from Farmington's West office, and they're amazing. They've been collaborating with us at UNM Rainforest Innovations on some workshops out in Dulce and hopefully in Jemez soon. So I wanted to have them on here so they could share about their organization and their individual offices as a really amazing resource for not only Native American entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs and small businesses across the board. So thank you for being here with me, all three of you. And if I could just have each of you introduce yourselves, what office you're with, and what are some of the initiatives that you're working on. Maybe if we could get Dave to go first, and then we'll go around the table for introductions.
Hi, Cecilia. Thank you so much for having all of us. It's an honor to be here and to be able to talk about the collaboration of things that we do. I'm David Videra, business consultant and trainer first and foremost that I love to do, and secondarily the regional manager here in the Rio Rancho Women's Business Center. The Rio Rancho Women's Business Center oversees primarily all of Sandoval County. So Rio Rancho proper, then out into the county around that. And we have been working really hard and diligently over the last 2 years to, in a sense, move out of Rio Rancho and to spend much more time in the Sandoval County communities. And that has opened up some wonderful opportunities with the 5 wonderful pueblos along the 550 corridor, doing work with Jemez, and also some of the work on the Dulce project. So that's my territory and primary focus.
Awesome. Wendy, can you share with us what you're doing in Santa Fe? Um, and also maybe just like a brief overview of what West is as an organization in general.
Okay, well, Cecilia, I've really enjoyed working with you so far, and I look forward to how we continue to grow and evolve our relationship. West is an entrepreneurial support organization. We support entrepreneurs from all of the state of New Mexico. And sometimes we do go over the borders a little bit because that can be necessary for serving some of our clients. So when you say Santa Fe, my region is 11 counties, basically the northeast of the state. Some of those are very rural areas. We also, of course, serve Santa Fe and some of the larger cities, Taos, Los Alamos. We did some projects up in Mora last year that were really exciting. And the entire region, including the Pueblos. We have done some collaborations at the Poe Cultural Center, which have been fruitful. And some of the initiatives that we're working on at the end of the year, we're building up towards bringing back our successful artist market at the Santa Fe Business Incubator. And we're going to start in September with a call for entries and some training courses on how to prepare your crafts for sale. So any client is eligible to apply. So please look out for that in September for our December, possibly November market. We're still working out the dates. Thank you, Cecilia.
Awesome. Thank you. And our next guest is Dawn. She's with Farmington. So Dawn, can you tell us about what you guys are doing in Farmington? I know you have some special initiatives in that part of the state that you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. Again, apologize for my camera not working, but I am here. And again, I'm the regional manager for the Farmington Women's Business Center with West. We serve 3 counties in New Mexico, San Juan County, Cibola County, and McKinley County. We also serve all of the Navajo Nation, so we do go outside of the state lines, and have a very large territory that we, serve rural communities, in on and off the Navajo Nation. The other thing that a couple things that we do here at the Farmington Women's Business Center. Wendy mentioned about markets. We do hold several market events, and that's to help our clients have a sustainable market space that's affordable. So we don't charge our clients or even community participants that want to join us to have an opportunity to maybe launch their business for the very first time, maybe trying to boost their presence in the community with a brand awareness, learning more about their market and their pricing. And so we use our market as a laboratory experience for clients and community members that want to participate with us. And we do about 5 to 7 of those throughout the year. We're going to try to do as many as we can this year coming up. And our first one will be to celebrate National Women's History Month. We have an event called She Means Business. And so we'll have a market open to anyone that wants to participate. You don't have to be a woman, anyone can join us. And so we're really excited to get that springboarded and kicked off for the year as our first market. The other initiative that we work on is what we're calling New Mexico Women Rising, which is a program to support rural communities, and anyone in the state of New Mexico that wants to start and grow a business, but predominantly focusing on our communities that we serve within the Native population. And so we will be offering services to anyone, but the targets will be, Native entrepreneurs. And so what it does is it allows us to expand these services outside of Farmington. So we have been focusing this program just around the communities of Farmington, but now we have an opportunity to expand that through the Rio Rancho and Santa Fe Women's Business Centers. And so we're really excited to get that work up and running, and hopefully we can get some engagement going here very soon with support to Wendy and Dave and getting that operation underway.
That's amazing. That's really exciting that you're going to be able to expand that program. And I think that's one of the things that I think makes West such an amazing resource for small businesses and entrepreneurs is that you guys are throughout the state. So right now we just have Rio Rancho, Santa Fe, and Farmington offices, but you guys have 4 other locations, if I'm
Seven.
correct. 5.
Total.
Okay. What are the other locations?
We have Albuquerque, Las Cruces,
Okay.
Roswell, and Hobbs.
Awesome.
Hobbs is not yet a women's business center, but does very similar work.
Yeah. See, I think that's amazing because you guys can have that impact on the whole state and serve so many people. And it's crazy because even just the 3 of you have are serving so many different communities, which is amazing. And I'm really glad that we can have you on here to share West as a resource because I think you guys have a lot of great programming. One in particular that I was hoping Dave could share a little bit more about that I know our tribal liaison Heather, who's the one who connected all 3 of us or all 4 of us to begin with. Um, she really benefited from your like website and GoDaddy program. And I think that program is definitely unique in the sense of like what you guys are able to provide. And I know it's very beneficial to businesses who go through it. So I was wondering if Dave, if you could share a little bit more about what that program is.
It would be my pleasure to do so. West has had going on now a 5 year uh, collaboration with GoDaddy. And it's one of the things that the 3 of us and the entire team are proud of is the way that the work that we do in the state of New Mexico is so well represented, and people that want to collaborate with us, such as GoDaddy and many other, grant funders. I'd be remiss, first and foremost, to not put a shameless plug in for our wonderful, Heather, who is not only an incredible person, but just an amazing entrepreneur with what she's accomplished in Dulce and what she's looking to do. So her Dulce Tippy and then Big D Flooring, both of those companies that she operates, is pretty amazing. And she was a participant in GoDaddy, and what the GoDaddy program is it's a collaboration in which is called Empower with GoDaddy. And that program, GoDaddy's initiative, is to increase the digital presence of new business owners and entrepreneurs by helping them with tools and opportunities to create or improve an existing website. And so we do a 4-week cohort training. And in that training, we walk people through the steps to understand how to do their branding, how to prepare their marketing collateral, using imagery to promote their business, and also the right language to be able to put into their website. One of the big benefits that we're most proud of is that GoDaddy really makes this very cost effective for the participants. GoDaddy will allow anybody to come into the program and be a part of that. So you don't have to have a GoDaddy site. You don't have to even have a passion for GoDaddy. Their passion is to help people really learn this. But should you have an interest in participating with GoDaddy through this program, they do offer the domain name, the basic website platform, and an email address at no cost for your first 2 initial years of being a client with them. And so that's a pretty significant benefit for participants that go through that program. In addition, we're still putting some, the ink onto paper, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But we are hoping that this year that there will also be some opportunities that GoDaddy will be sponsoring some grant opportunities for people to help with their digital presence if they work with WESST and their other partners as well. So stay tuned for that. And as we get some additional information, we will make sure we get that out to the community on what that could look like as well.
That's amazing. And just so you all know, and I am going to share the discovery report with you. But one of the needs that was discovered with through the work that our tribal liaisons are doing is that need for more training and resources of like starting up a website, getting your business online. So the fact that you guys provide that is amazing. And once I send you the discovery report, if you want to like use that to help show, those grants and those potential funders, like this is a need. That's what the discovery report is there for. So I'm really looking forward to being able to share that with you. I just have to get a few more things in order and then I'm gonna send it out to our partners. But kind of on that note of like partnering, collaboration, I mentioned this before, how we all met and got together was through Heather. And I believe so she's participated in multiple programs that WESST has, some with Dave and I know some with Dawn, because Dulce's like in a weird place where it's like kind of close to every single one of your offices. But I know it's in Wendy's territory. But she approached Dawn about collaborating and bringing some in-person trainings to support other small businesses and entrepreneurs in Dulce because Heather had benefited so much from working with you all that she wanted to make other businesses in her community aware of what you do so that they could work with you as well. Um, and I'm wondering if we can just talk a little bit more about this collaboration and how it came together and just share what we were able to do in Dulce. And Dawn, I think I'll have you kick it off since Heather approached you first. I believe, with this idea.
Yeah, so yeah, Heather and I were talking and she wanted to do some training and since Dulce is not in my region, it belongs to the Santa Fe region. Um, it was only out of respect and right that Wendy be brought into the conversation because that is a community that she would serve through her WBC, her Women's Business Center. Um, and then so we started the conversation together and collaboratively with Wendy, and then Dave was brought in on, and we just developed a training team with not only us three, but our other team members that are assigned to our women's business centers, Rhonda Lane, Alyssa Begay, Rosanna Pierre, and Janelle Henry. They were all part of our training team, and we just, worked through our process and decided to look at what we call a human-centered design structure, where we bring in community members, the partners such as yourself, and then potential clients and training participants to go through a process on telling us what they want to learn and what they're going to need, rather us coming in as an organization and saying, no, this is what you really need. I really feel that turns people off, and it doesn't help empower them. And so that's what we want to do is we want to empower our small businesses to feel confident to have a voice in their journey and their process. And so we began there and developed a training program. And Dave and Wendy, I'm going to ask you if you want to contribute any thoughts, but that's how we got started.
Sure. I mean, because it is in my region, I am ultimately responsible for it. And as the newest member on, this team here, I wanted to anchor the experience of Dawn that she's been bringing, and Dave expressed an interest, and I'll let Dave speak for himself about learning and going up to that area. And so what I've learned about from my time, I've been here over 2 years working at WESST, is it's about building relations with the communities, keeping your finger on the pulse, having a two-way dialogue, understanding what people are interested in, where they're at, also using our expertise to see where they're doing really well, what are the assets of those communities, where are the struggles, how can we help the communities better meet their own goals with that. And by having more than one region participate, we were able to do a lot more and to have a better and greater impact with, we did a series of 8 classes after the initial meeting based on the data that we received back.
Dawn has done an incredible job over the last couple of years, really building programs that are, really focused on New Mexico women rising and the wonderful work that she's done with the Navajo community. I, for one, wanted to be a part of that springboard as we move that forward. And our goal is to really have Dawn, Wendy, and myself collaborate together so that we can increase the outreach across what we're calling the northern half of New Mexico. It certainly doesn't no way mean that our wonderful colleagues aren't doing other things around the state. But as you mentioned earlier, Cecilia, the amount of area that we're covering and the things that are going on, if we can either virtually or via travel really help become a team that can expand and work with the communities that we're passionate about working with at WESST, that brings a big benefit. And so Dulce was a great opportunity to pilot that. I know Wendy's had and her team wonderful success, with the 8 Northern Pueblos, and has great, knowledge there as well. I've been expanding my role around the Jemez Pueblo and other things around the area. And so it's just a great opportunity for us to collaborate because first and foremost, WEST does many things, but we're a consulting training organization. And we're really focused on helping those what we call nascent entrepreneurs that typically have 3 employees or less really get the skills, the tools, the capability, and have somebody to talk to that can really help them along that journey. And so this is an opportunity for us just to continue to increase that collaboration, make a difference with the wonderful communities that we're focused on serving, and then continuing to do it in a way that my wonderful colleague always says, Ms. Dawn, let's work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I see the collaboration. I see how you guys keep each other in mind and like communicate with like what the best approach would be. And I think that just speaks overall to like who you guys each are as leaders and then West as an overall organization. I'm really hopeful that what we did in Dulce can be like replicated in other communities. And I think that's where our tribal liaisons can kind of help because I mean, our program is unfortunately winding down in April, but you still have those relationships with those individuals, so they might be able to continue to work with you all and bringing similar things to other communities. And I know what we did in Dulce is not the first time you guys have done something like that. I'm pretty sure Dawn has been doing stuff like that a lot in her region. And so I think that's why it was so successful because we were able to kind of take that experience and the approach that you guys have, which I think is amazing, is assessing those needs first and then bringing the training that the community wants in. That's exactly what our rural and tribal communities in New Mexico need. Um, is that more like, well, what do you need approach versus like, this is what you need, so this is what we're gonna give you. So I just really appreciate the work that you guys do. Um, what are
Cecilia,
some,
Cecilia,
mhm,
can I say one thing?
yeah.
So going forward with this expansion that we're doing, there's going to be a new piece integrated, which is going to be mentorship. Um, and I'm really bought into peer mentorship and using our clients in this work to mentor each other. So having some work around best practices and what they're learning through training, and they go out and putting this into, work that they're coming back and saying, sharing with their successes and their challenges, and they support each other through those things. And so that will be a new component that we'll be adding to this methodology.
That's amazing. And again, that's in line with the discovery that we've done over the past 3 years is that I'll show you the discovery report. And like I said, by all means, use it to support the work that you want to do because it's right in line with that. One of the discoveries that we made was that coaching and mentorship and kind of having someone who can maybe is like just a few steps ahead of you who can like handhold a little bit, that those types of roles are super important. So I'm really happy to hear that that's something you'll be incorporating into your programming going forward. And like I said, I'll be sharing that report with you. That can serve as a tool to just, support what you guys are trying to accomplish, because I think you have really good infrastructure and methods in place. So whatever we can do from the work we've done the past 3 years to help support and uplift that, that's what we want to do. So I'm happy to hear that. Are there any other like initiatives or programming that any of your offices are planning that you would like people to be aware of? Because I know West does a lot. You do a lot more than just the online website stuff. I'm wondering if each of you can share some upcoming trainings and initiatives that each of your offices are doing in the next couple of months.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about is our loan program. We do have a microloan program targeted for non-bankable people. Um, and so, you know, people can reach out to the regions and we can help them get started, or they can do an inquiry online. But our loans start at $500. We have credit builder loans. We have, all other types of pockets of money to help people get access to capital. And the West Loan Program is not for everyone, so we can still help clients access capital through other lending sources as well too. So helping them prepare their business plan or their cash flow as part of those application packets. We still offer that service even though they decide to, move in a different direction from our West Lending program. So I just wanted to put that out there that is another component of our program that we do on a large, well, I don't know if it's on a large scale, but it seems like an everyday scale that we're doing that.
And that's another important thing is just that access to capital is essential, I think, to couple it with training.
Yeah, especially in rural communities where, maybe a bank doesn't exist and they don't have a relationship with a lender, or they
Mhm.
don't have access to credit programs.
Yeah. Or if they're, I mean, tribal communities too,
Mhm.
run into a lot of issues. So it's good that you have that resource. Any other programs, Wendy, if you want to share what's going on in Santa Fe?
Sure, and I did want to add on that we do support the loan clients before, during, and post loan to ensure their success as well. And so some of the other programs we have coming up, I know there's a lot of artists that listen to your program, and February 20th, we're having a Zoom class, intellectual property IP workshop for artists and arts organizations at 10 a.m. presented by Talia Kosh. March is our SEO month, where we have another organization we're partnering with called Mango Moon Media, and they're going to be teaching on March 4th how to master your keywords in SEO. And then we're going to ramp it up. It's sort of a beginning, medium, and advanced series. The next is March 11th, boost your SEO ranking with backlinks and local business listings. So for all of you who have web pages out there, see how you can make your web pages more profound and reach a greater audience. March 18th, we have an Unlock Competitive Advantage course with AI analytics. I know not everyone likes that word, but we do have professionals who are assisting us with that. One thing I'm really excited about, speaking of partnerships, on April 25th, we're having an event called Walk and Talk. We're partnering with another nonprofit called 52 Hike Challenge, and we're going to do a network while you walk experience through Santa Fe. We're hoping for a beautiful late April day on that one. And speaking of rural areas, we're going up to Taos on April 30th, because what we've discovered and what you've discovered from your data is when you bring people and communities and partners together, beautiful things happen. So we're doing a building connection, confidence, and community for entrepreneurs in Taos, working with UNM Taos Hive. And it's going to be very energetic. We're bringing in creativity and action, and really helping people direct themselves to their resources and sharing that and uplifting each other. And I did skip, we're having a QuickBooks event on April 1st. That one is going to be in person in Santa Fe. And stay tuned for our May calendar. We have some exciting things planned.
Awesome. Thank you. Dave, what's going on for Rio Rancho?
Well, I think first and foremost, again, in this opportunity, we could spend the next 3 hours sharing the wonderful opportunities of what WESST, offers. I would add just in a summary that one of the best things you can take advantage of is the training opportunities that are for WESST, and the best way to do that is to become a client. There's no cost to do that. You can work with any of your regions or areas. We'll help you go through that process. Once you do, that opens up the entire catalog of the wonderful things that Dawn and Wendy have already talked about, as well as others around the state and in Rio Rancho as well. So the best thing folks can always do is just go to the website, which is WEST. Remember those two S's. So WESST.org. Do a / trainings. And then from there, folks can just take a look at all the trainings that are available. It's really been serendipitous since COVID, because pre-COVID, I would say with confidence that 75% of our trainings were all face-to-face. And COVID, we quickly shifted, as everybody else did. And then listening to the feedback of our wonderful clients, I would say that we still have 85, 90% of our trainings, that are virtual. And our clients absolutely love that, because it's, takes away the travel. They can attend any training class in any region, no matter where they're signed up or where they're located. So I think that's an important opportunity. It's a great springboard from there to understand how you might need some additional consulting and what some of those things do. So really encourage folks just to, take a look at that. For us here in, the Rio Rancho, Sandoval County area, we really leverage that again with the emphasis on, how we're a consulting and training organization. We partner with the Rio Rancho Regional Chamber of Commerce. We are their training, partner. And so we actually, a year and a half ago, started what we call Rio WESST, RIOWESST, which is basically our collaboration between the Chamber and WEST to deliver trainings, right, to anybody that wants those. Last year, coming out of 2024, we also did a great collaboration with the Sandoval Economic Alliance. And one of their board members is Dr. Laura Burton, associated with the Rio Rancho Health, UNM Health Science up in the northern part of Rio Rancho. And so we began doing face-to-face trainings there and put on a 6-week cohort. And so again, we're really trying to expand that outside of the city of Rio Rancho. We're doing some new things in Bernalillo, the village or city, not the county. We also have Placitas as our area. So there's continued conversations about working with them for artisans and the shows that they put on and different things. So all of us could just go on and on if you'd allow us to, Cecilia, but there's just so wonderful things that are happening all around West. And that's the best way to get tied into those, is directly through the website.
Awesome. Thank you. I just have a few more questions. My next one is for each of you. What is your favorite thing about working with West? I'm just curious to know, yeah, what is your favorite thing about working for West? Anyone?
I'll go I think for me, it's really the clients. Some of our clients come in with some real challenges and barriers, and helping them knock those barriers down, whether it's one at a time or not. And being able just to see them achieve the milestones that they achieve, because their success is our success. And when they're successful in whatever way, it's just a really good feeling to to see someone make their first sale or to complete their business plan. I mean, it's just those little things along that journey with them that is rewarding for me.
Thank you. Wendy, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so we're really in, I feel, the field of human development, and it's done through the lens of business. So people show up here with a goal or an idea in mind. Usually, sometimes it can be a little bit more vague, and we will spend some time brainstorming with people. And what I love about our method, and I draw on my Peace Corps volunteer experience, is we meet people where they're at and have a conversation and build a relationship and use that to guide next steps. And so I love watching people have those aha moments, and grow and take those steps towards meeting their goals. Just, I love the forward momentum, watching people go from like maybe stuck places, or, needing some tools to really take those steps, and watching people meet their goals. For me, it's really the process, the journey. But it is really satisfying when you go to a ribbon cutting and you see that moment where it happens. But it's, being an entrepreneur, it never ends. The work never ends. There's always something more to do or something to be aware of. And so a lot of that also is, I also enjoy working with, we're part of an ecosystem here, and we partner with a lot of the other local organizations, and work together within that as well. It's been really meaningful.
Awesome. Thank you. Dave.
I came to support West and continue to work with West for the number one simple reason of the wonderful individuals that we get to serve, to help make a difference in their lives, whatever that may be, and to help them achieve the success they're looking for. We always talk about the wonderful impacts that are made, but I can tell you I've also got just as much joy and excitement out of having a conversation with an entrepreneur who simply comes to that realization that, man, this is incredible what could happen, but I'm just not ready. And that's just as important, because you don't want to force this or do something that you're not potentially ready for. And so it's great to have that journey where somebody might say, man, I'm just not quite ready for this, but thank you so much. I'm going to go off and work on A or B, or I'm going to work for a couple more years to build a little more personal equity so I can go do this. And then when they come back, and they work through that path, that's just amazing for me. All of us at West are incredibly passionate about teaching, and that's what we are. We're an organization that makes us a little bit of a differentiator for other economic development and teaching groups, is that we focus on that. We want to teach you how to do it, show you how to do it so that you can sustain and do that on your own. And that's a large part of who we are. So for me, it really comes down to that, teaching those that are sometimes not provided or given the opportunities that they deserve, and helping them make a difference in their lives.
Awesome. Thank you. And I just want to say, I think all three of you guys have such a heart for your communities and the people you serve. And I know sometimes it can feel like a really hard and sometimes thankless job working, like in this field. But I just want to acknowledge all three of you for the work that you're doing. I think it's really amazing. And I definitely see the impact that you guys have on these entrepreneurs, especially just from the things that like Heather and Joseph share with me. So thank you for what you're doing for our entrepreneurs and small businesses throughout New Mexico. Um, just a few more questions. One thing that came to mind that I wanted to ask is just, um, and Don's kind of shared a little bit about this, but what are some of your hopes and dreams going forward for West as you continue to support businesses? Is there anything you would like to share kind of in that regard?
I think there's so much. Where do you start? Um, you know, Navigating the changes that are happening today, are challenging. And so we're having to figure out how to, at least from the Farmington business perspective, um, kind of navigate a system that's really confusing and scary. Um, but one thing is for sure that we are invested in our clients, we're invested in our communities, and we're invested in our partnerships. That's not going to change. And I think going forward, um, that model that we have built is going to stay intact. It may look a little bit different in how we do it, um, but I'm very confident that we're going to be able to reach more people. We're going to be able to help more people. Even as Wendy mentioned, meeting people where they're at. A lot of our clients are just trying to do better for their families. They're just trying to bring in more income. They're just trying to do, get a leg up of, what's happening in economic situations and in, communities that are struggling. And there's opportunity in that, um, especially, in Native communities where people have been doing business for a long time through art, tradition, and culture. And so we want to honor that and continue that work.
So I'm a big believer in sustainability, and it's not something that happens overnight, and it's not even something that's easy to measure, the qualitative changes that you see in clients, and as they take those steps, it can be very subtle, but when I also am a believer in community and watching people go through these courses together and grow and learn together. And what we saw a lot of in our courses, we did a whole series in Mora as well, is that people met and they partnered together and they helped each other with their strengths, and had resources for areas that they weren't as strong in. And we're always here. We can do consultations by phone, by Zoom, in person, whatever's needed. So, my hope is that we, continue to address the entrepreneurs in our region, and also some of the larger needs as a community. Dawn and I have worked on a program she brought me into called Empower Her. We've also been addressing issues of domestic violence and raising awareness of other things that are part of being an entrepreneur for all New Mexicans. So it's my hope we can all raise each other up together.
I would compliment my wonderful colleagues, comments to basically say I'm excited about collaboration. I'm excited about, expanding the boundaries of serving more than we do. Yes, our plates are full. Yes, we do a lot. Yes, there's a lot going on, but I still know that there are still individuals who and groups and communities that we haven't served yet. And I'm excited about what that looks like as we continue to move forward.
Awesome. I'm excited for that too. Um, my last question is if you have any final thoughts or comments of anything that you haven't been able to share yet, or if you have any words of encouragement for any entrepreneurs who might be listening, um, what would you say to them?
I'll start with this one. I have a big passion for some initiatives that are emerging in Cuba, New Mexico. And, I hear these stories of Cuba in the past, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and the hub that it was and all the things that have happened. And, it's gone through its path of, having challenges. And, but there's a nice, young, emerging, generation that's very passionate about kind of revitalizing what Cuba looks like. And we're doing some work around, Cuba collaboration, connection, and bringing business owners and entrepreneurs together to talk about how do we do that. We all hope that perhaps that turns into a Cuba Main Street, which doesn't exist today. My personal passion about that is that we can return Cuba to a hub within Sandoval County, which means that, folks can come from the Jemez and Ponderosa and Dosa and all the surrounding areas to be able to do things in Cuba, to be able to get back to having marketplaces and things like that, and revitalizing. And so I've just got some real passion. I've had some opportunities to be invited into that community, so that excites me. I'm incredibly excited about the emerging work and the opportunity that I've had to really get to know the wonderful people of Jemez and the welcoming that they have extended to me. the relationship building, helping me understand culture and history, and that is so wonderful. And I feel so gracious that folks are allowing me to do that, and I feel gracious that I am learning to understand and comprehend, and that's just a wonderful opportunity. So I'm very excited about this work that is occurring, and some next steps that a few of us now are starting to talk about. And I'll close on my comments of just so much of a thank to you, the wonderful work that we did together, continuing that. You're right, that program, may be coming to a close, but that doesn't mean the work comes to a close. We all see this as a journey, not a sprint, and I'm passionate that it will continue.
Thank you. I'm excited to learn about that project you have in Cuba. That would be amazing, to see that community revitalized. Wendy,
Sure. So, change has been a constant in the work that we do and adapting to the new realities that are constantly emerging. And it's such an honor to be able to have my job continue in the work of being of service to other people. I think it can be incredibly fulfilling. And I know some of the guiding words that have kept me going when times get hard or I don't really have that broader vision is I just ask myself, what else is possible? And I sit with that until I get an answer. It might not come immediately. I might have to repeat that phrase a few times. I might have to sleep on it and see what happens in the next weeks. But usually something will come up from using that phrase. And so I just want to say to people who feel, stuck or just aren't sure of the next steps to take, just keep moving in the direction of your dreams and of your path. And when you get stuck, that happens too. Just ask what else is possible. And sometimes we do need to take a pause before we take the next step.
thank you so much. Dawn,
Uh, I'm just kind of reflecting on um, several of my clients that I've been working with over the course of a few years, and just thinking about when they first come into my office about how they have doubts in themselves and they're not sure that they can do certain things or they don't believe that they can actually go forward. The work may be too hard, it may be too overwhelming, it may be too confusing, and just being a cheerleader sometimes is part of this job. I feel that you kind of have to take a different lens and looking at what is preventing people from believing in themselves and how do we change that narrative, the self-doubt and the self-talk that oftentimes people just throw their hands up and give up. And I think about some of our clients that are in a different journey now because we did not give up on them. It may have taken 8, 9, 10 months to get them to understand the cash flow. But this one particular client that I'm thinking about, yeah, he is so dang successful now. And had he not um, stuck with us and we stuck with him, um, he may not be in the same position, along with a lot of the other clients. And I know clients are going to do things the wrong way before they learn to do it the right way. And that's okay. Failure is the biggest learning tool. That's where we succeed from. So I just want to encourage anyone out there that is in a rut or stuck. Um, that's not the end solution. There are other ways to unstick yourself and to help you get moving forward. It's just, changing that narrative and helping you get on the right track. And that's what we do at West is we Oftentimes we get people that come to us that have put the cart way before the horse. They've got the lease signed and they've got their inventory bought, but they don't have a business plan. They don't understand how to track their finances, and they can't understand why they're not making money. And so we have to come back and kind of start from the beginning and, reel them in. And that's part of the work that we do. So when we talk about the investment piece, it's also that too, is that, supporting people, through those challenges that sometimes they create for themselves. And that's okay. That's the biggest learning tool that they will have for themselves.
Awesome. Well, thank each and every one of you so much for coming for this hour and sharing your heart, your words of wisdom, your experience with me, and then with anyone who is listening. I just want to encourage anyone listening to reach out to one or all three of these individuals. They're amazing. And like Don just said, if you're stuck, they can help you kind of work through whatever it is that you're stuck with, and figure out what the right next steps are for you and your business. But thank you so much. If people are listening and want to connect with any one of you, how can they reach out?
Well, the easiest way is to go to our website. And they can request a consultation or services through the website. Also, too, so if you use social media, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I don't know if we're on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. I don't know. Um, I'm still confused by the whole name change there. But there's a lot of great information on our social media pages as well too for our West organization. And they can even call us too.
And I'll put links to all of those in the description so people can easily just like click. Um, but thank you so much. Any last words, Wendy, Dave, Don?
Yeah, I wanted to say, even if they're not sure that they're ready to become a business, reach out anyways. We'll workshop through the ideas. Something that I've learned from Dave is really to focus on the why. Why do you want to do what you do, and use that to inform your next steps. So that's definitely something that we can talk through with people. We work with people at all different levels of entrepreneurial development. So thank you so much for having us on here, Cecilia.
That's my ending comment, Cecilia. Just thank you. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for the collaboration. Thank you for all we've done. Thank you for the UNM Rainforest and the entire team and the impact that it makes. Thank you for the wonderful people of Dulce that we had this collaboration project with, and we just look forward to the future and continuing to move forward and continuing to make a difference with the wonderful folks that we get an opportunity and are blessed to serve.
Awesome. Thank you as well. I'm really excited for whatever it is that we end up doing next, and just thankful for these relationships with you all, and I know they'll continue going forward. So thank you.